So today's topic is how bad leaders ruin development. So who are the bad leaders? This, of course, this article is courtesy John Edes, and he is a development guru, personal development especially, and he talks about how bad leaders ruin development. And this one you don't pay heed unless you have a bad leaders at workplace. If you have a bad boss, and who is a bad boss? How do you term a bad boss? His work philosophy is based on fear. Unless you perform, you are fired. There are managers who actually give the 15% of their employees every year get the lowest grade, irrespective of their annual performance. It is not an individual performance, right? It is a team performance, and it is not possible that if the team is doing very good, then the team members are doing bad. It is not possible. But some people can't see that logic, right? And they do individual appraisal. Of course, individual appraisals are to be done. For what? For doing the need assessment of that particular employee, so that this employee can be trained, skilled, and elevated to the next standard, right? It is not to tell them something bad, and not to actually show them the door, because you have invested in their training already, and that is a huge investment that you have done, and it is against the interest of any company where the person is hired. The hiring process itself takes a lot of investment, and then the training, it takes time apart from money, right? So it is sure short a, a bad approach if somebody is bent open firing some of the employees intentionally without any reason, just because they want to like say threaten the rest of the employees with the consequence if they don't perform to a certain level. And the level, who decides the level? It is the manager, the boss decides. So that is a bad idea of appraising people and handling people. Of course, these are people, they are not machines, and they are, obviously they are bad at skilling. When it comes to skill, all the hard work needs to be done, right? These training need assessment has to be done. There has to be proper counseling of that person, and it is to be seen whether this is it is a good fit for that particular job. If it is not a good fit, then this is the responsibility of the manager itself, to assign what kind of work to be assigned to a particular person. So it is none of the employee's fault. It is the manager who decides it. Then they are actually frustrated at work, also at home, because of their approach, because they are in this mindset. This also gets affected. This also gets reflected at home, and whatever frustration they have at home, that also they take out at workplace. That is even worrisome. And they are not leaders. When it comes to the leadership assets in the company, they are not leaders. They are bosses, of course, because of their long experience in the company. They have risen to a certain position, and by virtue of that they have become the team leaders. But it is not, they are not leaders. A leader is one who elevates the team, right? The standard, the performance of the team. And as Austin Kleon mentions, they are nouns without any verb, without doing the verb. What does that mean? That means they only take the credit, but they don't do they don't do the necessary thing that is required of a leader. And most managers, when they are to be promoted, and because of that they are not promoted, and when they are not promoted they grieve a lot, but they don't realize the fact that it takes leadership skills to be a leader. And in very very important setups where the productivity is a key issue, with only the leadership skill, they nobody can take the risk to promote them to a leadership position where the team gets sabotaged, right? Their development gets sabotaged. So that is but they expect that they are leaders and they should be treated like leaders. Why it is so very difficult for a manager to become a leader? Because it takes a lot of hard work and self reflection. All of us are very bad at self reflection, right? But there is a certain level. If you are a responsible person and responsible for so many people, then you need to reflect on your own behavior, right? And the mindset, how do you perceive the other person? A lot of empathy is required. So at least these human values are required so that one can start acting and start rectifying himself herself, right? And uh, for a bad leader, if you have a bad boss, then whatever you do, how much you do, you are not doing enough for that person at any point of time. So don't get disappointed if you have such a leader, because they will never tell you that you have done something for them, something significant for them. They judge, they don't get to acknowledge, they don't teach, they don't train, and they always tell that you are not good, right? So when do we know that a person is not leading but bossing around? So that is when they are only concerned about the results. So if you are seeing somebody who is a high achiever at a leadership position, then look at the team, how disparately uh, the team is distanced from that person. He is an achiever, but the team is not. The results he is showing, but the team is not showing any result. So it means that for a short term, he might be an achiever, but when it requires a team function, he is not able to lead. So that is the first indicator. And so in this context, there is an example of a great coach who won uh, 10 championships within a span of 12 years. But whether he won or he lost, two times he might have lost, and but he never used the word win, because he valued the players' behavior and uh, habits much more than the win or the loss. If you have you maintain if your team maintains the positive ways, the standard of game, then this team, whether wins or loses, it wins the hearts, right? That is the main aim of having a sports, right? So he never used the word win, right? By default, he said we did well, and this championship is ours. I don't have any idea about how they describe the wins, but that is what he never used the word win. The processes are important for him, and the standards are important for him. The behavior and the positive attitude were much more important than the win or loss, right? So that is the characteristic of a great coach and a leader. A leader is a coach. a leader who elevates the team members into a position of prominence, that is called a leader, right? Then the second characteristic they have, they only think of themselves. So if we see a photograph, who do we see first? We see ourselves. We look for ourselves, right? So we are selfish in that way, but that needs to be balanced when it comes to a handling a team. We need to think of the other people as well, whether irrespective of whether you look for yourself in a picture or not. You have to look for everybody in the team when it comes to performance and when it comes to success, right? Success is never singular, it is always a teamwork. And if it is consistent success, then it is consistent teamwork as well. And the leader is inspiring, he empowers, and he serves. Without serving, there is no leader. He serves so that the other person can take prominence. And the third characteristic is they think themselves to be leaders before they are leaders. So, how do you know whether a person has achieved that leadership quality or not? Ask a question. Ask a question about their effectiveness, and the most humble answer, from whoever you receive that answer, that person is the leader, right? They will acknowledge that they don't know, they don't have the answers, all the answers as yet. It is the first indicator of a leader who knows that he doesn't know. He needs to consult the entire team from time to time to understand what should be the result, what should be the answer, what should be the solution of that particular problem. This is called a leadership attitude, because they don't know, or they don't push their idea on the team. They always take the opinion of their team members. And leadership is a journey, it is not a destination. If you have become a leader today, if you are denoted as a leader today, it is not that you have achieved the leadership status, because it requires constant studying, testing of whatever solutions you have, your behavior, working on your attitude all the time, reflecting, of course, because every day is not same. Maybe you will receive some kind of behavior, and there are so many personalities type in your team, and how do you react to them? It needs constant reflection on the part of the leader, and the leader needs to take the proactive action before he expects the other person to rectify himself. So it is a question of rectification as well. Acknowledge the other person's contribution, acknowledge the other person's rectification, the progress, the development, no matter what has been his behavior, his or her behavior towards you. That is a leadership quality. And accept defeat in an argument if it is so. If you are wrong, you are wrong. Accept that and move on. Say, you might offer an apology as well. How does it matter? It just takes 1 second and move on. You have to tell, you have to convey that you have accepted and move on. So all these requires a lot of shifts in performance, habit, action, and attitude, which I call as AHAP way of achieving success. And it is part of mindful performance optimization technique, and you can learn that about in my online course. And if this has helped you, then you can take a sneak peek at the course as well, at the link given somewhere along with this video. Thank you.